Yeah, the world has collapsed. It's collapsed. It's on a thin layer of ice, and the politicians are trying to keep it up for their lifestyles. Like I said yesterday, every time that we catch on to what they got going on, they switch it up. Now you got the monkeypox. That's the next thing. They're supposed to be investigating it to see, if it's contagious, and how fast can it spread. You got the economy collapse. you know. Salute Winter Liquor Prepper. Salute Starfire. Salute Israel. Salute Rob. You know. Now you got this new thing that came out. Also, you know, all my Texas residents, even if you get an affidavit as if you live in Texas, you can sue Twitter, Facebook, uh, YouTube. You can now sue these entities for censorship. If you live in Texas, you can sue. Now I'm quite sure that they're gonna try to fight it, but you can definitely sue these entities for censorship. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I've been through the ringers, so I'm definitely evaluate my options. I have all my paper. YouTube, I know you're in here. I have all my documentation from the past since October of everything that transpired, and I'm weighing my options right now. I'm weighing my options. And but the world is totally collapsed. They're holding on for survival for them lifestyles. Too many people is woke up to it's a handful of people around the world. Too many people has woke up to the spiritual battle. Too many people has woke up to these things, you know, and they can't control it. Like they cannot control it. You know what I mean? Like they can't control it. It's too far gone. Even Kim Wong is about to start, the little rocket man is about to start back testing. Every country, every country have a person that have woke up, that realized that the world is in a chaotic state. We're not going back. Salute HMR. Salute Eric. Good morning, Eric. Good morning to everybody. The world is too far gone. It's too far gone. You got and over there in New York, you got it's not really being promoted, but covered. But you got the beaches, the sand is collapsing. You got homes collapsing over there in New York on the sand. It's collapsing over there in Africa. You still got the locusts eating all the food. It's plagues and all these types of things that's really, really going on, and they trying their best to try to save their lifestyles. You got the baby formula shortage, right? You got that going on where they're trying to pass rules where they can shortcut. Y'all know the last time that they did an invoke act, the last time they did that was for them to actually create the vaccines, and that didn't go too well. So whenever it's an invoke act, now you got corporations trying to make a product that they're not used to making, and that didn't go too good. Then in another week and a half, salute Sebastian, in another week and a half, you got the vote for the World Health Organization to take over the healthcare system. So the world has collapsed as we know it. It'll never go back to being the same. It'll never, it'll never go back to being the same. And that's and I'm happy. I'm so happy so many people is awoke to it. Salute Gary. Salute. I'm so happy so many people is awoke to it. We definitely, Gary, we are slaves in the system, but the thing is, when a slave find out they're a slave, they realize that they're the ones who control everything, and that's what's been happening. The slaves been finding out that we're the ones who control everything. So the world, the world as you know it, the world in the 70s, the 80s, it'll never ever go back to being like that. Never. The world will never be the same. It'll never be the same. Tomorrow is unpredictable with the world. It's unpredictable. You got Elon Musk. I exposed him. He's manipulating he's manipulating the stock market. He's utilizing his assets, the fake money system, to buy all the land I exposed the one percenters how they using all their resources to buy all the land, you know, and why people saying that they got bunkers and they buying land in the Netherlands. No, they're buying land in America. They're buying 500,000 acres of land because guess what? They know that America is the only continent that have 4 seasons. You know, they have 4 seasons. It have something for every. It have it can grow something for every situation in the weather. America is the only one that can do that. So they buying all the land over here because this the land of milk and honey. You know, and whoever own all the land, this is how whoever own all the land, they own you like the saying say, the clause guy. You know, you will own nothing to be happy. If they continue to buying up all the land, and we're not paying attention to that, they control the food. They control the water because guess what? You got the natural water like the spring water. That some of that water come onto some of that private land that's owned. So they're buying up all the land and all the water. Salute Switzerland. You know they buying up all the land and all the water. They buying up all the water. This is the catch-22. Like if you go to Colorado and you find out somebody privately owned the springs. You go to Louisiana where they got there's a water base there. Somebody privately owned that too. So they're buying up all these things, all the natural resources of the earth. They're buying it up. They're utilizing the fake money system to buy it up. They're using us as labor to build their companies up. Then they're using dummy shares to sell to buy more things. And this, and the reason why I focus on America when I'm talking about these things, because America lead the way. If America, y'all seen America's stock market crash yesterday, and the rest of the world went with it. The rest of the world stock markets went with it. So America, what's up, Ruby? America lead the way. That's why I talk about America, because America lead the way. America's system so broken. America's system is so broken. It's breaking, and it broke everybody else's system. It didn't broke everybody else's system. Gaddafi, he was trying to go back to the gold standard. For everybody who talking about gold, Gaddafi in Syria was trying to go back to the gold standard. He was trying to get away from the paper dollar. And you guys see what happened to him. They made the people turn on him. So they have game plan A, B, C, D, E, G, F. I mean, it goes all the way up. They got game plans for this. They got game plans for this. Now the stock market today, it's gonna do a little better today. It's gonna probably go green today. But it's gonna go green because somebody in the comment section said this, and I totally understand it. I understood it. See, the elites, they invest 24/7. They world trade. The 99%, you invest on a time limit. So you invest probably from 8 or either 7 to 4, 8 to 3, something like that. But they got access to the stock market overall. So they're gonna invest literally 24/7. So they was buying up stocks last night, putting their bids in last night, yesterday. And all the stock market has to do, if you put $1 billion in there and it go up 2%, you just made you a couple of millions of dollars. And you could take that millions of dollars and go buy some more land, or go buy some, this is all a manipulation. It's all manipulation, the whole play. This world is gone. This world is gone. It's holding on by a last thread. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. We still in the economical system, and the economical system ain't going anywhere because they're trying to force it to go digital. They're trying to force it to go digital. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to survival mode, you won't make it. Now I understand. To everybody in here, salute, Gwendolyn. You're right. The Wild Wild West. Now I understand this, right? I never understood why, like my grandfather or my great grandfather, I never understood like why they would eat squirrels, and I never understood like why they would eat certain things they ate. But now I realize they ate that stuff because they came up in an era where it wasn't all this artificial food. It wasn't all these different things. It was more of a normality in a depression state. So now I realize that they ate those things to survive. They literally ate those things to survive. Because now you got things that they manufacture and in labs. It's a lot of lab food, a lot of lab food that they got going on. They are finding ways to steal prop. Oh yeah, the don't I put it. Look, the videos I'm putting up there. Listen, the videos I'm putting up there, they so dead on to the point where YouTube don't even put my videos in front of all my subscribers. Like they don't even. If you look at, I got videos that I put up that got 600 views and I got 44,000 subscribers. Even though I had more than that a couple of months ago, But they're not even putting this stuff in front of subscribers because they don't want people to see those videos. They don't want people to see the game that Elon Musk play because he's an influencer, right? He's an influencer. So when I expose that game with Tesla and Twitter on what happened, that video not gonna get those kind of views unless you guys share it. You know what I mean? It's not gonna get those kind of views because Elon Musk to some people out there, he's like a god. He's that kind of influencer. He's like a god. So they don't want somebody who can influence the masses to be exposed like that. I broke down Elon Musk to the T yesterday on how he manipulated the stock market. And he manipulated it to the point where he won't lose. He can't lose. It's a win-win-win for him. He sold 147 million shares of Tesla when Tesla was $1,100 something a couple of months ago, when Tesla was almost at its highest peak. Tesla ain't been higher than that or been at that level since he sold, right? He used that money, 44 billion on hand, to say he gonna buy Twitter. He didn't buy Twitter though. What he did was he manipulated the Twitter by beefing with the people and saying this and saying that to drive that stock down. Meanwhile, while Twitter is being driven down by him, Tesla is also being driven down because guess what? He pulled out all those shares, so the stock was going to definitely tumble because it don't have that many. It lost so many shares, so the stock had to tumble, right? And when the stock tumbled, it kept on tumbling because now the 99% who's invested in it, this is tumbling, so they're pulling their money out. Okay, so while they're pulling their money out, right, it's still tumbling. Meanwhile, that same $44 billion that he took out in shares, he's still sitting on that money. So now he can get Twitter at a cheaper price and go back and buy the same amount of Tesla shares that he sold, or either go back and buy more Tesla shares than he actually had. So it's a win-win-win for him on how he played the game, on how he pulled off those situations. It's a win-win-win for him. And it ain't just started. He been doing that. He did the Dogecoin thing where he said, he did a tweet and said Doge. And when he did that tweet, Dogecoin went up, from a piece of a penny to almost 14, 15 cents. And he had billions and billions of shares. So he been did that. He been doing these types of things, and this is all a manipulation game. And only thing they've been doing, they don't want the finer things in life. They want the land, because the land they can control. If you go look at the movie The Book of Eli, right? The guy who Denzel Washington played was a blind man, right? He played a blind man. And when he played the blind man, he came across this guy who actually was running a town, right? And the guy who was running the town, right? The guy literally, he just had the town on. He was running the town. And so let me break it down right quick, right? So literally he running the town, and Denzel Washington had a Bible, and the guy wanted the Bible because the Bible was going to allow him to influence the people with the scripture. But the only problem was the guy tried so hard to get the Bible for Denzel Washington. He tried to team up with him at first, then he tried to kill him, right? And as he tried to kill him to get that Bible, when he did get the Bible, right, he didn't realize that Denzel Washington was a blind man, and the Bible was written for a blind man. That Bible was written for a blind man, so he couldn't read the Bible that he done all that stuff for. So the point I'm making is, that's how God worked. You can do all that dirt, but at the end of the day, the Most High gonna prevail. And Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, all these people who doing all these evil things to try to buy something that God gave to the people for free, it's gonna come back on them. It's gonna come back on them, and it is coming back on them because the world as we know it is collapsing. The world as we know it is gone, so it is coming back on them. Now the same things are in pain. Exactly. 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 The U.S. came out the lion. Yeah, it's you got economical issues, you got plagues, you got a monetary system that has been keeping the 99% in slavery since the beginning of its start. You got manipulation going on. You got secret societies. You got people that don't want people to prosper on this earth. You got satanic worshipers. You got people who are so divided. You got so much of things that they have done to do things. And shout out to the Angry Prepper. If you guys, he gave me a shout out yesterday. I dropped a comment in this chat, and he read the line to the people. So the channel is becoming more and more, aware by some of the people. Yeah, Ryan. See, that's the thing, and I seen your name multiple times, and that's the thing. I post a video about the monkeypox yesterday, and I'm quite sure you set up to the channel, but they wouldn't even put in front of you because you posting it right now, But I posted it's a video on the channel. World War III is definitely gonna come. I posted a video about that about a week and a half ago. World War III is definitely gonna come. It's nowhere around it. Soon as Sweden and Finland, they get accepted into NATO, Putin gonna strike one of them, and then they're gonna be NATO, so it's gonna be World War III. That's definitely gonna happen. They're gonna get approved, and then Putin gonna strike one of them. Exactly, Jamila. I stand firm on that too. I think that women should, women who can, I think they should breastfeed. I think they should because all of the natural things that we was supposed to do by the Most High, they have taken it from us. They put out baby formula for this moment right here. People are so dependent on baby formula right now. People are losing their damn mind. And I would, and as they should be, because if you've been indoctrinated and you don't know no better, then you looking at your child need to eat. So they everything they do when they take you away from naturalized and you got the pig and its profit, they then control. The baby formula ain't nothing but them showing us what they're gonna do in the future. If you can't feed your kid, it's a state of panic. And they always start with the kids to get their point across. They always start with the kids. Salute, Rob. They always start with the kids. Like I said, you, me, and you all, we were kids at one point in time, right? We went to school, right? They indoctrinated us. Now, as you get older, your mind you start searching and looking for the truth because you've been indoctrinated. So they always start with the kids. And that never stopped. They always gonna go after the kids because the kid is a developing brain. They're always gonna go after the kids. That's why they say the kids are the future, because they're always gonna go after them. Yeah. That's the thing. You gotta think about getting healthy. If you're not healthy, you gotta think about getting healthy. What you put in your body, that is your body. So if you put fruits in your body, things of the earth, your body gonna produce the way it's supposed to produce, because that's what the Most High gave you to put in your body. All medicine come from a plant, but they mix it with chemicals. All the medicine you need, all the herbs you need come from plants, but they're not gonna tell you that because they're gonna put Big Pharma out of business. Exactly. Put it like this, right? When a child get to be 2 years old, 3 years old, then you switch over to whole milk, right? For vitamin D, quote unquote. That's what they call it. Well, cow milk is designed for bones to carry 1,000 to 1,500 pounds of meat. So cow milk, how can cow milk be designed for a child when the average human only gonna be maybe a couple of 100 pounds? When cows grow to be 1,500 pounds, 1,200 pounds. So that milk is designed for a cow. It's designed for heavy boned cow. It's not designed for a human cow. This is why you got people got bone disease and all these different type of bone things, because you've been putting stuff in your body that gonna send you to the hospital where they're gonna make money from the milk. Then they're gonna send you to the hospital and they're gonna make money off the medical. So it's all a game. It's all a game. It's all one big game. And the thing about it, the beautiful thing about it is the Most High put it all in front of our face, but we just can't see it because they have to tell us the truth, but they got to spin a narrative. They're allowed to spin it. They're allowed to spin it, but they got to tell us the truth. And common sense tell you cows suck cow milk off their mothers, right? So why would you give that to a baby? Why would you give that to a human child if a cow is sucking that milk? That is designed for that cow. You see, but that's the thing. They're not going. The world as we know it, it'll never go back to being what it was. The world is destroyed. The world is destroyed. Yeah. Salute, Steve. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. If you eat unhealthy, then you're gonna be unhealthy, and you're gonna have a short life on this earth. And if you eat healthy, then you will be healthy. But with the things they spraying in the air above your head, you don't know. The things they spraying on the food, you don't know. So ain't nothing like they didn't tamper with so much of stuff. Ain't nothing healthy. Even the fish that you eat, the fish. Back in the day, they weren't shooting no bombs and testing no bombs in the water. So that's why the ocean is being depleted, because of all these chemicals that they're shooting in the ocean. And all the fish is contaminated too. So technically, everything that we touch is contaminated in some kind of way. These people have contaminated everything. They contaminated you, me, the animals, the flowers. I mean, what's left? What's left for them to fuck up? And that's gonna be the only curse word I'm gonna say on this live, because I'm not gonna cuss on here. But what else is there for them to mess up? They done messed up they done messed you and I up. They done messed up the air. They done messed up the water, the ocean with the fishes, with the nuclear tests. They done messed up everything. And then they come to you and they say global warming. Well, y'all the ones who messing the shit up. Y'all the ones who messing it up. Not us. Y'all messing it up. Why is y'all shooting testing nuclear warheads in the damn ocean? Why? When you know that people eat fish. When you know people eat fish. So when I say the world is collapsing, the world is collapsing. When you look at it's just catching up. It's catching up with them. The bullshit catching up, because at first they was doing all these things, but they messed up. Salute to that person who said, Eric, salute, Eric S. Salute. They messed up because they thought the internet was going to be big brother for them to keep an eye on everybody else and what everybody doing and be able to save this and put people in different things and spy on you and do this and do that. But they messed up because people have took the internet and utilized it as an information transfer from one place to another place. So people like myself and other people are sharing information with those that we come across and learning information from others that are utilizing this as an educational and to spread information resource. So they messed up because they thought this was going to just be Big Brother and spy on us and do this and do that. But now people are utilizing this thing to share information, to share information. And I got to give it to them because they are 200, 400, 500 steps ahead. They got technology that a satanic entity have given to them. They got a whole bunch of things that they're utilizing to keep them ahead of the masses. If they want like I hear people say that the baby formula is on the borders. The baby formula is been sent to Ukraine. That's still a division tactic. Shout out and prayers out to those people in Ukraine, and shout out and prayers out to those people in Russia, the citizens, because the 99% of the people, salute socket, the 99% of the people is fighting these wars. Not one time did Putin step on that damn land of Ukraine and done shit. Not one time did Zelensky family ain't doing shit neither. Putin family or Zelensky family is not fighting those walls. It's the 99% people fighting those damn walls. And they sitting at round tables trying to figure shit out. So that's why I always say, shout out to Ukraine people, the citizens, and shout out to Russia, because it's all one big ass game and distraction to cover up them doing what they doing. To cover up them doing what they're doing. Salute me, you're right. You are totally right. Download those PDFs on how to garden, how to use power generators, how to filter your water. Start following some of these prepper channels, on how to do certain things, because economically the system is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. It will not be the same. The system is shot. It's shot. It's shot. It's on its last leg. It's on its last leg. People realize now, Survivor Spectrum. He's another one. I watch his channel from time to time. Sometimes I think he could be a little bit overboard, but for the most part, some of the stuff he talk about, when he say that you are the value, not the paper dollar, I totally agree with him. The person is the value. The person is the value. Back in the day, slaves, as we all know, slaves, right? The owner of the farm was not no value. It was the person who was in the field picking all the stuff. They was a value. And then when they became free, they didn't have a place to live. So what they did, they started charging them to do the work. So they start saying, you know what? I'll pay you now if you do this. I'll pay you now if you continue to do this, but you got the rent from me. So the game never changed. It's just on a larger scale. And for those who didn't catch that, I'm going to repeat that, right? I'm going to repeat that to everybody, right? Slavery, right? Slavery that we was taught, right? The slave worked in the field because they were by force. It wasn't the payment at first. By force, right? Listen to this real heavy, guys. So when a slave became free, quote unquote free, the slave, let me bring it back, because I want to make sure everybody hear this and hear this real clear. The slave was forced to work in the cotton fields or the fields or whatever. The slave was forced. Being forced, the slave was not free. So the slave had to sleep and live on the property of the master, right? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys follow me, because I'm about to break something down to y'all heavy, because this is just modern day. It never changed. It's just on a larger scale. Okay, and it's with everybody. It's just on a larger scale. It never stopped because the slave owner still had to pay taxes. Okay, so it never stopped. It's just on a larger scale. Give me a thumbs up if you with me and you hear where I'm going at with this, because I'm about to break something really down. Okay, so the slave was forced to stay on the property, right? Now, when the slave so-called stood up and said, you know what, I'm tired of this, and start fighting back, the slave was given freedom papers, right? But where is the slave going to go? Where is the slave going to live? Where is the slave going to... They have no money. They own nothing. What can they do, right? So now the slave has to go back to the slave owner, and tell the slave owner, hey, I'll work for you if you pay me. You see? So now, as the slave getting paid from the slave owner, right? The slave still have nowhere to live. So now the slave owner can tell the slave how much they want for rent for them to stay on their land, on their property. So now the rent could be so outrageous to the point where the slave is not making no money to never get ahead. So at the end of the day, the slave is still the slave. Why? Because the slave could never break the slavery chains. And it's on a worldwide platform. That's all we're going through. That's what we're going through. It's slavery for everybody. Slavery for everybody, because it's a group of people who don't know how to farm, who don't know how to cook, who don't know how to do nothing. They got generational wealth and they control everything. They control everything. You see? And I broke that slavery story down to make a point on, if you wake up in the morning and go to a job, you are a slave. Because if you pay taxes, you are still a slave. If you have to go in the store and buy something, water, you are a slave. If you have to go get a fishing license to go fish, you are a slave. If you have to get a hunting license to go hunt, you are a slave. If you have all these things I'm naming, you are still in slavery. It's just that now it's a monetary system tied to it to make you think that you're being paid for your services, when all the while your services are the value. This, so this is why this channel can't really just go back and do 10 million views in 2 weeks, because the information I'm sharing, they don't want people to know that. They don't want the masses of people to know that. They don't want them, because as long as you got at least 50% of society that don't realize that they're slaves, then everything gonna still function. It's gonna still function, because check this out, right? If you pay a mortgage on your house, and you tell a bank, Man, I'm not paying this. I'm not paying this, and you're not taking my house. This is an example, right? I'm not paying this, and you're not taking my house, right? So they got to the bank got to go through a process where they got to get the employees to go to the courthouse and all this kind of stuff, right? So what happens if all of the 99% employees, the ones that work for the bank, the sheriff, and the judge, everybody, just say, you know what? I'm not enforcing that. Now your house become free, your land become free. Only person that loses is the person that what? Own the banking system. Because now who's gonna put and who's gonna take everybody out their houses? Who? If the sheriff say I'm not gonna do that, and the judge say I'm not gonna enforce that, and the bank person say I'm not gonna write that up to happen, who gonna enforce it? Because the person who own the bank and who own the money system, they're not gonna come out their skybox, or they're not gonna come from their island to come make you get out of the house. They're gonna utilize the 99% to do it to you. You see, so it's all the world has collapsed because I'm not supposed to know this information. I'm not supposed to be sharing this information with you. How in the hell do I know this information? Because it's put in front of our face broad as day. But I broke the chains for my indoctrination. I don't look at racism and say that's racism. I look at it and say that's indoctrination. I don't look at somebody poor and think I'm better than them, somebody who have less than me, and say that's indoctrination. I mean, and say, oh, I'm different from this person. I am no better than the next person because God created all us in his image. God created all us in his image. So I am no better than the next person. But what I do know is that we all been indoctrinated. We all been indoctrinated. That I do know. We've been indoctrinated. And they put in front of us entertainers, movie stars, and things of that nature, celebrities, people, and put celebrity gossip in front of us to keep people asleep from waking up, that we are indoctrinated. We are indoctrinated. They utilize those things. That's why I posted a Kanye West video that people probably ain't seen. When Kanye West said that they like, you got kids, I got kids, the whole situation, right? They'll make a rapper famous, right? Hip hop is the most famous music genre right now. They did that for a purpose. They did that for a reason, to manipulate your kid mind, my kid mind, and to promote the things they want to promote. So what they did, they took hip hop and put it at the peak of the music industry, and then they start saying, you know what? We're gonna show these little boys they got to wear pink. We're gonna show these little boys they got to wear tight clothes. We're gonna show these little boys it's cool to be this and that. We're gonna let Drake, the most popular entertainer on the planet, we're gonna let Drake make a song that saying girls love girls, you know, and he cool with that. We're gonna let Drake do that, you know. So this is where we at with it. They utilize people. Drake don't know what he's doing. He's indoctrinated, you know. And I said it. And he the most popular. He a pop star / hip hop, most popular. You know, he the most popular. I said it, you know, and it's just the way it is, you know. Hold on one second, guys. You know, Drake, he's the most popular there is. You know, we could walk around as masculine men and say, oh, this and that. And we could tear down Disney, and we could do this and we could do that. But at the end of the day, your kid listening to Drake, and Drake making songs saying he like girls that like girls, you know. And that shit was number one, and he getting Billboard awards and the most streams and everything else, and ain't nobody saying, you know, hey man, slow down with that language. Ain't nobody saying, hey man, slow down with that language, you know. And that's by design, because if it's all over your radio waves, all over your YouTube, he's the most famous person, the most popular person. Kids won't be like him. They can do that. Look at Lil Nas X. Came out with the country song. This was the backstory behind it, right? Came out with the country song. Country folks didn't want him on there because he was black. This is the story behind it, right? Country folks didn't want him on it because he was black. They didn't want him to be in the country lane. Okay, black people got behind him and started supporting his record right? Because they felt like he was black and he was being discriminated against, right? So when black people got behind it, Miley Cyrus daddy jumped on the record, right? So boom, the record shoot up all the way to the top, all the way to the top. All the kids singing it, all the black folks singing it, all the white folks singing it. It's the biggest song in the world, right? Go 18 weeks in a row, number one, right? Just the biggest song in the world. And then guess what? He sent out a tweet on Pride Day saying he proud. After he done got all these damn kids. He wasn't even much an artist for adults. The song became a hit for kids. So after he got all these kids to follow him, he come out and say he proud to be that. Right? I don't give a damn about, you know, what people feel on this topic. I'm gonna just keep it 100. If you is what you is, that's what you is. If you're an adult and that's what you want to be, that's what you want to be. But do not manipulate a developing brain with a child and tell them that's okay for them to be like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So you wait till everybody put their kids on your song and everybody talking about Old Country Road and everybody singing the record and all the kids is rocking with the record. And then you come out and say that. Now you was a role model to the kids, an influencer to the kids. Kids are following you. Kids' parents have allowed them to follow your channel, follow everything that you're doing. Everything that you're doing, salute socket, everything that you're doing, and then you come out and do that. Right? So when I look at it, the world is gone. The world has collapsed. You know, the world has collapsed. And if you go political, they both the same. You know, they both the same. The Republicans the same, the Democrat the same. If you go political, they're the same. It's one bird, two wings. You know, same bird. They both the same, you know. So I don't like when people say the Democrats did this and they both did it. They both did it. It's just that the Republicans, they do have some kind of Christian values. The Democrats don't have no values whatsoever. That's the only difference. The Republicans, they stand on some kind of Christian values, and the Democrats don't have no values. They believe when they say the land of the free and freedom, they mean Sodom and Gomorrah freedom. They mean you can come and do any and be whatever and whatever you want to do. You know. You know, so that's how I see it, guys. You know, and I got on here this morning, you know, to tell everybody that, you know, salute, you know, and I'm gonna continue to doing this for y'all. And y'all please spread these videos because for some reason they're not spreading them. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna check that out too. That the person Eric, and I see the chat where you didn't drop somewhere, people gonna check it out. Drop it in the comment section so I can pin it. I want to watch it myself. Drop it in the comment section. You know, and yeah, you got to educate yourself on this situation because, you know, these things they put in front of our face is just so crazy. You got to educate yourself on it. You know, you got to educate yourself on it. These things are crazy, guys. You know, they're absolutely crazy. You know, I just you got men having transformations to be women and women having transformations to be men. You know, this is absolutely crazy. The world is crazy. You know, the world is absolutely crazy. You know, absolutely crazy. You know, walls, rumors of walls, plagues, invisible enemies. You know, jabs they want to put in your body. Every time something go wrong, they want to stick you with a needle. You know, this is just crazy. The world is crazy, y'all. You know, the world is crazy. It'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. You know, it'll never be the same. And you know, Lucas, it ain't a war on us. It's a war on the kids because we know better. We know better, so we can do better. But our kids' brains are developing, and they putting things making a battle harder for us as parents to teach our kids reality. You know. Salute, Margaret. You know, they that's what they're doing. They're making it harder for you as a parent with your kid to teach your kid reality. You know, that's what they're doing. It's not about you and I. It's about 2-3 generations from now. They'll hate us. You know, we just happen to see what's going on and trying to expose it right now and break the matrix. It's about them trying to, the next 50 years from now. Because keep in mind, they're secret societies. These are secret societies that have been in existence for hundreds of years. So they plan They plan for after the death of them. They plan for the next generation. They plan this stuff. They plan this stuff. Exactly, Lucas. They plan this stuff. You know, it's secret societies. They plan these things. You know, and right now, where we at with it right now, what we learning and what we coming up with, and what we putting together, the planning that they actually doing, you know, is probably for 2060, 27. You know, they already got reactions ahead. You know, if you go out there and you say, you know, no more, they're gonna sick militaries on you. You know, and they got because they got people indoctrinated. So, you know, this is how crazy it is. The only thing about America, guys, you know, is that we got guns. You know, the Second Amendment is we got guns. You know, we got guns. They know the citizens got guns, and they know if too many citizens wake up to this BS, you know, it's gonna be Armageddon on Earth. You know, they know that. They know that if you could get kids and you can get the indoctrination to stop and start coming together rather than being indoctrinated doing dumb shit to one another, they know. That's why that's why they have these secret societies. They got things, you know, they got things where they get together and they say, well, you know what? They did this. Now you're up. Your turn to go do this. Even if it's a suicide mission. Okay, look, before I get off here, I'm going to break this down. The little guy who did the shooting in Buffalo, right? Right? The little guy who did the shooting in Buffalo. They say it's racist. Right? They say he did it because it's black people. Right? All the stuff that's going on with Hunter Biden. All the stuff that's going on in the world. Right? All the stuff that's going on. He did that because it's racist. Right? Now check this out. This is what I mean by secret societies. Right? They're saying it's a secret group that hate black people or hate colored people. Right? Okay, let me break it down. Now, this is what I see about that. This is how I know it's bullshit. And this is how I know somebody else is behind that shit. Right? The police got called to an active shooting situation. It's an active shooting situation. Right? The young man had and shot multiple people. Right? Quote unquote. Right? So there's multiple bodies in the active shooting situation. And you mean to tell me he able to walk out in the parking lot with the gun in his hand, put the gun on the ground, drop on his knees, and leave that situation without being killed? If I'm a police and I'm called to an active shooting situation, that means that my life is on the line. That means I'm coming, my gun already out, my gun already printed, and if he have his gun in his hand and I see him, since I know he been shooting already, it's no questions asked. I'm shooting first, asking questions later. Why? Because it's been already called, it's an active shooter. And he already got bodies. So I'm coming shooting. He's not being arrested. He's not leaving the scene because I want to go back home to my family. You send me out there to a situation where it's an active shooter shooting random people, and if he see me, he know for a fact that I'm coming to stop him. He's going to turn his gun towards me and start shooting. So I am going to go ready, prepared to actually take this guy's life or take this individual life because he's an active shooter, right? So that's how I know that was bullshit. Nowhere in the world that young man was supposed to walk out of that situation unless it went higher ups who had made the call and say, don't kill him. This is what that is. Right? And that's what I mean by when I say secret society.